So, everyone, welcome to Kailul Kol Shira in partnership with Breslov.org. Today, Amid Hashem, we're going to start our shir with the great teaching from the Reb, the Tzaddik, the Makubal, and his name was Reb Shimshon Me'Astropolia. And we're going to see a little bit about him, how he was able to decipher a teaching of the Arizal that for generations before him, no one can ever understand. Let's see how it goes, and here we go. So he says over here, Segula Gedoyla V'Nifla Lilmod B'Erev Pesach. So it's a big skula. It's a wonderful thing if you can learn this on Erev Pesach. Today it's Wednesday, and it's close to Erev Pesach right now. Okay? It's Samach L'Erev Pesach. So we'll consider this as we're studying this in Erev Pesach. You can also review it Erev Pesach if you can, of course. So let us see. It says, B'Seifa Maimer Kaisib, Shekola Ma'ayin B'Soid HaNifla V'Hanoira Hazeh Al Mechayin. Whoever is going to study and delve into as it's proper to do, Afilu Pam Achas B'Shana, even if you could do this one time a year, Bifrat Erev Pesach, specifically, if you could do it on Erev Pesach, that's a very wonderful thing. Muftach loy, he's giving you a promise that what? That what? That you'll be saved this upcoming year from any chas v'sholem, any kind of untimely or horrible death. Umishum adam layimshul bayin, there'll be no one that'll be able to have a control over you. V'chol oivav yiplu tachtav, and all of your enemies will fall beneath you. V'hu al b'maisenu yidrach, and you'll be able to, on their corpse, you'll be able to stamp on them, you'll be able to walk over them. V'chol asher yifna yatzliach, anything that you'll turn, wherever you'll turn, you'll be successful. V'chol asakav yarviach, and any business dealings that you'll do, you'll be successful with. Ad bias goyel amen, until the coming of Mashiach, amen, Selah. Here we go now. So, Shalom l'Rabbeinu Eretz Goydrei Geder Oimdim Beperetz. So he's writing back a letter, Reb Shimshon Me'Astropolia is writing back a letter to the great tzaddikim of Eretz Yisrael at the time. He lived in Europe, and he's writing a letter back to them, and they get the letter. And it says like this: he's addressing the great rabbis, Rabbeinu Eretz, the great rabbis of Eretz Yisrael. Goydrei Geder, they set up boundaries. V'oimdim beperetz, and they stand very strong with their teachings. Yatzilim Hashem mikilyon v'cheretz kulam kedoshim atzeiman ba'aretz kol chad lepum chirufei u'machshe metaretz. Each one has a very, very sharp mind to be able to ask questions and to answer questions. And this is how he's addressing the people that asked him this question, and then we're going to go into the question right now. But Tachlis HaKitzer, Oidois Inyan Masha Kosav Arizal, the Kuntras Shalai. We're going to be talking about the teaching of the Arizal in his kuntris, in his little his pamphlet, they're calling it Ashenikra Pelois Rabbis, and the name of the pamphlet from the Arizal is called Pelois Rabbis. Awesome, wondrous, many wondrous things. Bishar Nikri Yetzias Mitzrayim. In the section that's called Yetzias Mitzrayim, you'll find it in Perek Gimel, Daf Mem Beis, V'zu L'shoinai, and this is the lashon of the Arizal. Now, I'm letting you know right now, we're going to study these words, and nothing will make sense to us, but as we go through the lesson, it'll make a lot of sense. So here we go. These are the words of the Arizal now that we're going to be reading. Hine kvar ha'diacha, ha'diticha, shepare nilka b'mitzrayim b'eser makres elu. That we know, it's already known, that Paroi was punished in Mitzrayim with the 10 plagues. Everyone knows that. He says, Ayadei shleisha alofim umasayim ushmainim malachei chavala. So we have we have 3,280 punishing angels. Again, these are the words of the Arizal. Hamisavabim b'shleisha rekiyim shel tuma. These 3,280 angels are surrounding 3 firmaments of impurity. And he says, ha'echad, the first one is Nikra Shin Reish Ayin, va'asheni Nikra Taf Mem Vav Ches. These are the names of the 3 firmaments that the 3,280 malachim are surrounding. Va'ashlishi Nikra Beis Yud Shin Hey Aleph. Now he says, va'alehem, and upon these 3 firmaments of impurity, Hasar HaNikra, there's one head angel that's called Dalid Lamid Pei Kuf Tes, Val Kulam Hasar HaNikra Tuf Kuf Ayin. Okay, and there's one. Let's say is the chairman of the board, and then you have the executive president. Let's say on the top. Okay, so he's the chief executive officer. Let's say Tuf Kuf Aleph. Now again, it makes no sense, but soon we'll understand. Bereshis, in the beginning, in the beginning, we find that from min hashlishi asaru, we're missing from 3:10. Now, how could you be missing from 3:10? How could you have 10 missing from 3? V'chasa min aravi shisha, and from 4 we're missing 6. V'chasa min atishi shisha, and from the 9th one we're missing 6. Takasa b'Torah, as it's written in the Torah. Again, these are the exact words of the Arizal which we quoted where you can find this. V'hine, Masha metzinu shalaku ha-mitzrayim b'mitzrayim esa makos, and this that we find that the Egyptians were punished with the 10 plagues. V'alayam laku chamisha makos, and on the Yam, by Kriyas HaYamsuf, they were punished with 50 makos. Mitzad Hashem, because of the shame, there's a name, Shin Pei Vav. Shebai Ochos David ben Yishai. David ben Yishai is attached to this shame, Shin Pei Vav. Vashem Omar Haku, Vihikum, and this name said, smite them, Vihikum, and they were smitten. They were hit. Mitzad Hashem, Shin Pei Vav, Shebai Ochos, okay, Vashem Omar, okay. Now, Mitzad Hashem, Tov Kuf Lamed, Loko HaMitzrayim b'Mitzrayim Arboyim Makos. The Mitzrayim were punished in Egypt 40 plagues. Valayam Loko Masayim Makos, and on the Yam they were punished with 200 Makos. Vashem Amar Haku V'Hikam, and again the shame which is Hashem said to them to smite, and they did. Umitzad Hashem Shin Tzadik Hey, which is Loko HaMitzrayim b'Mitzrayim Chamisha Makos. The Egyptians were punished in Egypt 50 Makos. Valayam Loko Masayim v'Chamisha Makos, and on the Yam they were punished with 250 Makos. V'Hashem Omar V'Hika, and Hashem said to them to hit, and they did punish. U'v'masha Kodesh Baruch Hu Makkah, and with what the Kodesh Baruch Hu caused the Makkah, the plague, by Mirapa Golos, the exile was healed. Uma Pashu, Uma Chotu. What was their willful sin? What was their inadvertent sin? Uma Moal Asher Molu Avaisenu. And what did our forefathers do? Lios Bekura Barzel Azeb, to be in this Kura Barzel Azeh, in this smelting pot, the iron smelting pot. Hazeh ad shenigolu, until we were taken out. B'shemois Dalit Ayin Beis Tzadik Dalit Aleph Kaf Shin Chaf Ches Beis Ad Kan Lashon Arizal. Until there is the Lashon of the Arizal. That's what the Arizal had to say. One thing I just want to tell you, a side note, that since we're seeing this word, we see the words over here, Bikur HaBarzal. You see the word here. I'm going to point this. You see it, Kur HaBarzal, which means an iron smelting pot, and that's what Mitzrayim was called. why would the Jewish people be considered to be in an iron smelting pot? So I saw something remarkable. That really Barzel is hinting to the Jews that come from Barzel. Really? The Jews come from iron. What does that mean they come from iron? Look at this. Beis, look at the word Beis. You see the word Barzel? So Barzel, if you look at the Beis, a Barzel, that stands for Billah. If you look at the Reish, it stands for Rachel Imeinu. The Zayin stands for Zilpah. And the Lamed stands for Leah. Because we came from the Arba Imais, the holy four mothers. These four mothers, these women were the ones. These were the women that the Shiftei Ka came from. The Shiftei Ka came from these women that were able to give birth to the 12 tribes. And therefore, we were in the Korah Barza. We were so to say being reworked, and we were being prepared to leave Mitzrayim to become the Am HaNivchar, to become the chosen people, and that's another reason why it's called Barza. So let's get back to the lesson now. These words that we just studied, Pelayim Heim, they are wondrous. Sisumim. V'chasumim sogur ve'ein pirish oisam. They're susum, they're closed. V'chasumim, and they're locked, and they're locked against sogur, closed. Ve'ein pirish oisam. There's nobody that can explain them. Ukvar sha'aluni g'doili Yisrael levar lehem divrei Arizal. But you great rabbis asked me to please explain to you these words of the Arizal. But it wasn't, they wanted to, but it wasn't told to them. I will show you, I will explain to you, I will reveal to you what was revealed to me in this wondrous dream that I had. And here's the explanation. And this is the situation. That the Arizal wrote that Pari was punished in Egypt with 10 makkos. Through the 3,280 punishing angels. This is what the Arizal meant. This is what he meant. The Balei Kabbalah tell us stories and their teachings. There are 3,280 punishing angels in Shemayim. That they are placed, and they are placed there to punish the wicked ones. Laha'anisham, to punish them, b'gehenim. So there's 3,280 evil angels that are set up to punish the Rishayim in Gehenim. Uletaram me'avoynaseyim, to purify them from their sin. V'nosnu simen al zeh lahakos be'egroif resha, to hit with the egroif resha, with the fist of the Rasha. What does that mean? Egroif. This is what the Navi Yeshaya says. You can find it in Nun Ches Pasik Dalid in Yeshaya. Ki egroif. This word egroif. Remesh Shleish Alafim Masayim Ushmainim Malachei Chavola Hamakim HaRasha, stands for the 3,280 angels that are smiting the Rishayim. Now let's continue. Now Al Yodam, and through them Nilkam Gam Paroi Harasha V'Hamitzriyim, through them Paroi and the Mitzrayim were punished. Through these same malachim that are up in Shemayim, they were punished, the Mitzrayim and Parai. Ani ha'kaisev shezeh sayd nifla kasher u'nichta b'minyan or mispar. And I tell you, this is something wondrous as it's written, and you can take the numbers and the counting, and it works out wonderful. Now, we're going to look at the makkos. Now we're going to look at the makkos, and we're going to understand the makkos. Dam, the first makkah was dam. Tzifradeya, the frogs. Kedim, the lice. Or the white, the dever, the white, the shchin, and the boils, and the borad, and the arba, the choshech, the makkos b'charis. The 10 plagues. But look what happened here. Now he started off again. These are the words of the Arizal. Elu esa makkos kasher kasafti oisam be'ois be'ois. I wrote them. I wrote the 10 makkos. He says over here the way you find them written, the way it's found written. How? Oilim lecheshben shleishes alop masayim u'shmoyne malachei chavola hamamunim l'tares harishayim v'hu poshet v'pshat nifla ayin loy rasa. So let's take a look over here on the side, and I love this one here because it's so nice, because he gives you the numerical value. So if you take the dam is 44, Tzifradei is 444, Kedim is 110, Ariv is 272, Dever is 206, Shin is 368, Barid is 206, Arba is 208, Chayshech is 328, and Makkos B'chayris is 1094, equaling a total of 3,280. So here you have it, what the Arizal was writing, the 3,280. And then we see another remes. So we saw the first one was Egroif, that they would be smitten with the Egroif, like the Navi Yeshaya said, which shows the 3,280. But if you look at the numerical value of all of the makkos, they also come to 3,280, which is actually awesome. Now, you can this calculation will work out if you take the word kinim, right? Kinim is normally could be spelled kaf yud nun mem, kinim, okay? But here the Torah is and orayv is chaser the vav, right? Orayv is chaser the vav. The orayv is missing the vav. The choshech is chaser the vav. Choshech is missing the vav also. And this is what the Arizal wrote, that from the third one I'm missing 10. Perushami makkah hashlish is from the third makkah. Shehu kinim chaser yud, from the third makkah you're missing the yud is 10. That's how you can be missing 10 from 3, because it's the third makkah and you're missing the yud. That means you're missing 10. The chaser min raviyah shisha, and from the fourth makkah you're missing 6. What was the fourth makkah? You see, you can look at our chart here. Dam Sevadeya Kinim Arayv, right? The Arayv is missing is missing the Kinim is chasa the Yud. The chasa min Raviyah Shisha Perish Mimaka Raviyah Shu Arayv chasa Vav. The chasa min Atisha Shisha, and from the ninth one we're missing also 6. Min Hatishis, from the ninth one Shu Makais, which is Makais Chayshech, and it's chaser gam the Vav. So now you can see how from the third one, from the here, let's go back here again. From the third one, you can be missing 3. How can you be missing 3 from the third one? Because you're missing the Yud. You're missing the Yud from the Kingdom, and that's the third one. And then Perish Mimaka Shlish is Kingdom is Chasa the Yud. And then from the third is you're missing the Yud from Kingdom. The Chasam and Aviyah Shisha from the fourth one, from the fourth Maki, you're missing 6, is what Mimaka Raviyah Shu Arayv, which is the Maka of Arayv. The Chasam in Avav min Atishis, and you're missing 6 from it, which is Chayshech, is also missing. So now you see how you can have these numbers missing from what, and it makes sense to me. If you look in the Chumash, and you look in the Chumash, as the Chumash writes out the Makkos, you'll see that the Chumash writes out the Makkos this way. In Parshas Va'era, in Parshas Va'era, where the Torah tells us about the Makkos, the Kinim is Chassid Yud. You look in the Torah. Don't look in the Haggadah. Look in the Torah, he's telling you. Look in the Torah. In the Torah, if you look in your Chumash, you'll see that the Kinim is missing Yud. And Arayv is Chasad Vav, Chayshech is Chasad Vav. You'll see all of these things is missing. The Arayv is missing the Vav, and the Chayshech is missing the Vav. But V'loi K'may Shekasa Basidurim, Shemisader Bala Agoda Kula Milayim. That sometimes you'll find in the Siddur and in Agoda that they printed, that they write out Kinim, they write out Arayv, they write out Chayshech with the Vav, and they put the Yud in, and they put... But that's not the correct way. You have to understand this. You have to look in the Chumash. Don't look in your Agoda. Look in the Chumash, and you'll see it written the way we're learning it here. Then the Cheshbon is exact. It's not any less and it's not any more. That are punishing the wicked ones in Gehenna, and which we said those are the same ones, like he says, okay, with these the three. So let's go back. Let's get the next page. Okay, let's go on. Is this making sense to everybody so far? Are we working it through? Is it making sense? Anyone have any questions? Please ask any questions if you have any questions. If not, let's continue. Okay, good. That now back to these 3,280 punishing angels. That we learned came from the word egroif, from the Navi Yeshai. And then we see it's also it comes to the numerical value from the Makkos, from all the 10 Makkos written the way they're written in the Torah, 3,280. All right, so now we spoke about, let's go further with them. That we said that they're surrounding the three firmaments of impurity. The first one was called Shin Reish Ayin. The Echad Nikra Tov Mem Vav Chav. So it's ve'echad nikra beis yud shin hey aleph. Gam bazeh yesh lanu sayid gadol v'nifla v'noira. There's also some wonderful thing that's hidden within this. Shetikan amagid b'masha kosav elu esa makei shehevi. Elu esa makei shehevi. These 10 makkos that were brought. Eser haim oisyais. This word eser is the letters of Shin Reish Ayin. There you have it. So take Eser, you see the Shin, the Reish, and the Ayin, and this is the Shin Reish Ayin. Makkos Oisya, the word Makkos. Now take the words here again. Elu Eser Makkos. You see that, everybody? Elu Eser Makkos Shehevi. Make sense, everyone? You see this? So far we did the Shin, we did from Eser, we did the Shin Reish Aleph. Now we're going to go to Makkos, which is the letters of Tov, Mem, Vav, Chav. You see that? Makkos, right? Mem, you have the Kaf over here, you have the Vav, and the Saf. There you have it. Shehevi, the word Shehevi that Hashem brought upon them, Ois Yois Beis Yud Shin Hey Aleph. Again, these are a wondrous wondrous understanding of the Holy Arizal. Nirmaz Bam, that's hinted them, Elu Arakiyim Shaltuma, the three firmaments of impurity. So again, we learn out, so far we're going through this. We wanted to know about the 3,280 we learned. And then we said the 3,280 malachim are surrounding the three firmaments of impurity. So that from that we're learning that the Eila Esem Makei Shehevi. Eser is the same letters as the first guard of the first level of the Rakia. Shin Reish Ayin. Okay, and then we said that the second one is Makkos. Eser Makkos. Makkos is Tov Mem Vav Chav. Okay, Shehevi is Beis Yud Shin Hey Aleph. Nirmaz Bam. Elu Arakim Shaltumah Shebehem Shleish Alaf Masayim Mishmayim Malachei Chavala. On them, the 3,280 firm angels, the punishing angels, the Hilko Vehiko Esem Mitzrayim B'Minyan Makei Shehevi, that of the minyan, the order of the makkos that were brought Minyan Makesh Hevi Minyan. The word minyan is minyan Yud Makesh Elu V'Zeh Pele Godol. This is a true wonder. Okay, I know is what the Arizal put into his maimer that no one was able to understand. That the Rebbe of Shimshon Me'Asrapoli is explaining to us. This Mekubal is explaining to us how you find these things. Umacha Kosav Aleim Asar Nikva Dalid Lamid Pei Kuf Tes Kavanasahi Sheshem Zeh Sharshay Yoitze Memilas Ha-Mitzriyim Ba'oisyois Ha-Koidmim La'oisyois Ha-Mitzriyim, with the letters that precede the letters that make up Ha-Mitzriyim. What does that mean? What's the letter before a Hey? The letter before a Hey is a Dalet. Dalet is Koidem LaHey. And Lamed is Koidem LaMem. The Lamed comes before in the Aleph base. The Lamed is found before the Mem, and the Pei is found before the Tzadik, and the Kuf is Koidem LaReish. The Kuf is before the letter Reish. Tes Koidem LaYud, and Tes is before Yud, and Va'mem Achroina Shalom Mitzrayim Hi Mem Hariboy. The last Mem you don't have to put into the calculation, because that is only the Mem that makes it plural. Okay? That makes it plural, so we don't have to count that in this calculation. That's not from the shayrish of the word, right? From the name. The remez lezeha magid ba'amar esem make shehevi HaKadosh Baruch Hu al ha-mitzriyim. So again, when you're reading the Haggadah, and you come up to the part where it says esem make shehevi HaKadosh Baruch Hu al ha-mitzriyim, look what's hidden inside of those words. It's mind-boggling. Let's go a little further. All right. We're going through the Maimer of the Arizal, and now what it says. Val Kulam, and we said upon all of them we have the executive. We have the executive president. Okay, the CEO. V'asara nikvet tov kuf aleph. What's with him? Bereishis kavanasei ki roshei tevos shel eser makois. The roshei tevos of eser makois that we're going to say at the seder. Ditzach adash b'achav. Right? That's we abbreviate. We abbreviate the makois to remember them. We say Ditzach adash b'achav. The gematria. If you take the gematria of Ditzach Adash B'achav, as you see it on the side, over here, I'm going to point to it, if everyone can see it. Ditzach is 114, Adash is 374, B'achav is 13, Sach HaKol, the total is 501. Tov, Kuf, Aleph, Tov is 400, Kuf is 100, Aleph is 1, 501. K'minyan asar mamish the kavanase b'tevis b'reishis rotzalay ma'aroshi tevis shel hamakes gamhu minyan asher. It's also the minyan of the word asher. Asher. It's a very special word. What's this word asher? We say it all the time. Asher kedishanu. Right? We say it in Ambrachas. We say asher. Shu side hakosav. This is the side of what's written as asher. Asher hisalalti b'Mitzrayim. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu was over the Mitzrayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was hovering over the Mitzrayim, passed over the Mitzrayim. Right? Asher hisalalti b'Mitzrayim. The word Asher, kasher boi b'harbe alofim psukim, is you find it in hundreds and thousands of psukim, shemayrim la'asoid Asher, which is hinting to this yisoid of Asher, keminyan aroshay teva shel esem makles haniskarim la'el, v'yesh lazer, v'yesh lanu bazeh soides nifloyim harbe uramazim ukvoid elikim haster dover. Okay, so far we're going through the Maimer of the Arizal, and nobody understood. No one had any understanding of what was going on before this holy tzaddik, this holy mekubal, Reb Shimshon Me'Asrapoli, was able to explain it to us. Umasha kasav mitzad Hashem shin pei vav And then the Arizal said the name Shin Pei Vav Amar Hika Oisam to smite them b'Mitzrayim Esa Makos 10 Makos Valayom Chamishim and 50 Makos on the Yam Suf Kavanasei Linyan Side Nifla Naira Plukta Rabbi Yossi Aglili Rabbi Eliezer v'Rabbi Akiva. So we're gonna tell over the story at the Haggadah. We're gonna talk about these great Tanoim, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Akiva. Okay, so now if you take the letters of Rabbi Yossi Aglili, look at the total of Rabbi Yossi Aglili on the right side. You can see there, Rabbi is 212. Yossi is 86, Haglili is 88, Sachakol is 386. If you look over here, the Shin Pei Vav, Shin is 300, Pei is 80, and Vav is 6, so you have 386. Kavanasi in the inside Nifla Plukta Shel Rabbi Yossi Aglili, Rabbi Eliezer Akiva. Let's do the next. Go to the next page. Okay, we're getting ready to finish. Okay. Okay. Hamuska Ba'Agada Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer Minayin. It says where does Rabbi Aglili know? Rabbi Eliezer Omer Minayin. Rabbi Eliezer says Minayin. Rabbi Akiva Omer Minayin. Right? Zeh side Rabbi Yossi Aglili Gematria Shin Pei Vav. Mamish Mechuvan Mahainu Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer Perish Shem Shin Pei Vav. Rabbi Yossi Aglili was the one that said this perish of the name of Shin Pei Vav Omar V'Hika Oisam, and that's why Rabbi Yossi Aglili, his name actually adds up to 386. Mamish, the amount that he came up with, that he taught us, that's how close Rabbi Yossi Aglili was to his teaching. So it wasn't, many times you're learning the daf and you see different things and you see one Tana, one Amayra has a Shita. So we're wondering why is this Tana holding like this? Why does this Amayra this? Why can't they agree? What's going on over here? Why are they arguing? So we're seeing over here that in every opinion of every Tana and every Amayra, there is Soidais. There are the deepest secrets in every single maimah, every single word of a Tana and an Amayra that we have all through Shas. That they are mamish, their name is part of their pshat. Let's go on. David ben Yishai. Then it said that David ben Yishai had a hold on. Perish David ben Yishai gam came gematria Shin Pei Vav. Look at this. David ben Yishai is also 386, like Rabbi Yossi Aglili. All right? So Rabbi Yossi Aglili is connected with David HaMelech with this idea of the 386. But Oisai Hashem Daika Hika Oisa Mikasa beside Razash Rabbi Yossi Aglili Aya Nitzites Shal David ben Yishai. The Rabbi Yossi Aglili was a Nitzites. He was a spark. Nitzites actually means a spark, but it could also mean he was a Gilgal of David HaMelech. It was found in Rabbi Yossi Aglili, and again, that's why David HaMelech is Shin Pei Vav, and then Rabbi Yossi Aglili held the 386, and his name is 386, and David ben Yishai is also 386. Fascinating. Hagam sheyes lanu bazeh soides niflois. This is the kavana. Okay, next one. Okay, here we go. And now what it said from the name Tav Kuf Lamed. What is that? Look, that the Mitzrayim had 40 makkos in Mitzrayim. Listen, you're probably wondering, what is this? What's he talking about? There were 40 makkos. We all know, you ask any kid, they'll tell you it was 10 makkos. So where's he coming up with there were 40 makkos? I'll give you an example. So let's say you take the makkah, let's take the first one, dam, right? The first one was blood. So all the water turned to blood. But look how many things that came out of that. Look at the smell that Mitzrayim had. Look at the fact that the fish all died. That was another one. Look at the fact that they couldn't water anything. There were so many ramifications that came out of each makkah. So we're saying over here, like Rabbi Eliezer says, that he says that there were 40 makkahs. So, but you can understand it. And like by the Yam Suf, there were many makkahs. Of course, there were many makkahs. Of course, there were many makkahs. There was wind. There was cold. There was this. There was that. And they got turned over with the water. And they were suffering. All of these things were all different makkahs that were in the makkahs. There were plagues, but there were plagues within the plagues, and that's how they came up with these other numbers. And that's how he says that on the Yam Suf, the Mitzrayim were punished with 200 makkahs. And again, you can all use your imagination of what was going on at the Yam Suf and what was going on in the Yam Suf, of all the beautiful things, the Midrashim, what we had, how the floor was so beautiful, how we had fruits and we had water and we had lines, everything was so perfect. The Mitzrayim had the exact opposite. So we're saying that the Mitzrayim were punished with 200 punishments just at the Yam Suf itself. Remez l'side, this side of Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer, again, it's tough kuf lamed we're looking for, which is 530, right? 530. Tough kuf lamed. Tough is 400. Kuf is 100. And lamed is 30, so it's 530. Okay, Rabbi Eliezer gematria, as you can see on the side over here. Hainu Rabbi Eliezer daika shubi gematria Hashem tav kuf lamed amavihikam, and this is what it means. So Rabbi Eliezer said, "We garam the Mitzrayim the makkahs," and he says that's how the Mitzrayim had their makkahs. Now we'll do one more. Now the last one is Rabbi Akiva. Uma shekasa mitzad Hashem shin sadik hey. And this is what the Arizal wrote from the Shem, Shin Tzadik Kei Loku HaMitzrayim B'Mitzrayim. What does that mean? What was the Kavanah Rabbi Akiva? Rabbi Akiva Gematria Shin Tzadik Hey. Wow, look at that. Rabbi again is 212, like we had by Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Akiva is 183. The total is 395. So if you take the Shin Tzadik Hey, Shin is 300, Tzadik is 90, Hey is 5. And there you have, in Rabbi Akiva's name, equals the 395. Amazing. And each and every one of these great chachamim, each and every one of these great tanas, they said, based on their achiza, their holding, their understanding of it, in these three names, Shin Pei Vav, which we said is Rabbi Yossi Aglili, Tav Kuf Lamed Rabbi Eliezer, and Shin Tzaddik Hey is Rabbi Akiva. Be'elu Shleisha Tanoim, Rabbi Yossi Aglili Gematria Shin Pei Vav, Rabbi Eliezer Gematria Tav Kuf Lamed, Rabbi Akiva Gematria Shin Tzaddik Hey. V'zeh Soid Nifla Noira Rosin the Rosin. This is the secret of secrets. Okay, we're about to finish this section here. Rosin the Rosin. Okay. Sisima, Sisrin, the Sisrin, it's closed, sealed, concealed. And now we're going to finish it off. And then what it said we're finishing off now. And then what it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the Egyptians the Makkah Boi Mirape Hagolis. Through that we had a healing. What does it mean? What does that mean? You know, Reb Nassan writes in Likutei Halacha something amazing also on this idea of what it means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu won't bring the Makkahs of Mitzrayim on Klal Yisrael. That Klal Yisrael, we won't feel the Makkahs of the Mitzrayim. What does that mean? HaKadosh Baruch Hu was punishing the Mitzrayim because he wanted to punish them. He wanted just to punish them. But we understand that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a Yid a patch, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a Jew a patch, what's he actually doing? He's actually causing a refuah. It is a refuah. Hashem is healing us from something. So again, to the Mitzrayim, Hashem just punishes them. Nothing good's going to come out of that. But when a Jew gets any punishment from Hashem, to know there's a little morah in the life, so we understand that really Hashem is doing something good for us. You read this Yisrael in Mitzrayim, that we had to go down to Mitzrayim in the first place. The Tzar Chadash and Batzav Ba'achav is going to teach us that why we went down to Mitzrayim. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu healed us. It was the etzba, was the finger of Hashem, as the Mitzrayim said themselves. They said to Parai each time, it's etzba elekimi. This is Hashem's finger. What are you doing? Harei min hamaka atzma. Bar refuah li Yisrael. From the Makkah itself came the refuah to Yisrael. In the Makkahs, you see the refuah. You can see the hinting to the medicinal benefit that we had. Shegolam HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bahem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out through them. What did we do wrong? What's the chet? Shall I say no? The chet of the sin of our forefathers. Shegarim, you read this Mitzrayim, that caused us to go down to Egypt. And within the Makkahs you see the refuah. Shegolam Hashem Yisbarach. Umashe Kosav and HaKadosh Baruch Hu Goal Oisanu B'Shemus Halalu the Dalit Ayin Beis Tzadik Dalit Aleph. This is again the Arizal Kaf Shin Ches Beis Hakavana the Dalit Ayin Beis Heim Yosis Harishayni Shel Ditzach. Those are the first letters of the acronym of the Tzach, Dam, Tzefadeya, and Kinim. Right, that's the first one. And then Adash Ba'achav. The first letter, the Tzach, is the Dalit. The second letter of Adash is the Ayin, and the first letter of Ba'achav is a Beis. So take that together, and then you see the Dalit Ayin Beis. Ba'achakach Shem Tzadik Dalit Aleph. Heim Eisei Shniya Shel Tzach Adash Ba'achav. Here you go. The second letter in the Tzach is the Tzadik. The second letter of Adash is the Dalit, and the second letter of Ba'achav is the Aleph, Ba'achakak, and then you see Kaf, Shin, Ches, Beis, Heim Yosef Shlishes, Shel Ditzach Adash Ba'achav. Shegola Kodesh Baruch Hu Yisanu Bahem, Harei Ba'oisen HaMakkos, within these Makkos, Shehikul Mitzrayim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu punished the Egyptians. Bahem nimzim refuah v'geula liyisrael. That's hinted to in there. The refuah, the geula to Klal Yisrael. Amazing, amazing. Harei lechos soid ha'simanim shel ditzach adash ba'achav. So here you have the secret. And why do we have to say in the Seder the Tzach Hadash B'achav? Why do we need that acronym? We can have acronyms for many things, but why do we need the acronym? So now we see why we needed the acronym, because the acronym was actually showing the refuah to Klal Yisrael and how important it was. And that's why we have to have. That's why we say the Tzach Hadash B'achav. Al Kol Malachei Chavola, that, like we said, the CEO officer that's over all the punishing angels. Hikim HaMakkos L'Mitzrayim, Uvayis and Oisos Nimas Tam HaGolas Shel Mitzrayim. It shows us the reason of the Golas to Mitzrayim. Ba'osim Oisos Nimas Gamkein HaRefuah VaGula LiYisrael, shows the refuah, the healing. It shows the Gula, the redemption. LiYisrael ba'elo oises heim b'saif noigaf v'rapai. And those are the words of Nagoif v'rapai. V'hei rava milifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu she'arenu bias mishichenu ima malachim ha'shaychim l'geula achroina b'meira v'yameinu. It should be it's sweet in front of Hashem that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should show us the coming of Mashiach with all of the angels, that pertaining to the final geula, to the final redemption, that we're waiting for b'meira v'yimeinu speedily in our days. V'yekuyim bana mikdash hakasav ukemei tzeischa me'eretz Mitzrayim aren and the flies amay netzach sel avoid. That the same way Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim, Hashem is going to show us awesome things. However, we just have to hold on a little bit longer. Mashiach is going to be here any moment. We're going through this deep dollars, but the same way that we were in Mitzrayim, and we didn't understand what was going to happen and how we were going to get out, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved us, and with that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will also save us. Does anyone have any questions on this? No. Wow, amazing. Shkoyach.